Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Oh boy. What a busy, 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 busy time. I thought for sure, okay, it's Sunday. There won't be much to talk about. Easy peasy. Well, they had other ideas. Okay. Andrew Bodie, thank you so much for being the first one here on Royal Sussex. There are no prizes, but thank you so much. Carol Rennie, I am going to just go ahead and Connie Balmer. Hey, Connie Balmer. Black Queen, I'm scrolling through really fast. Sonia Johnson, Novi D, Lydia Washington. Let's see. Oh, Royal Sussex is here. That was 20 minutes, about an hour ago. Okay, I'm going to scroll through really fast, just go all the way down to the very last person that entered the chat. Um, let's see. Okay. All right. All right, we're good. All right, so if I did miss any super chats, I do apologize. I don't see any, so I think we're okay. All right, very good. Okay, so let's get on with it. Okay, okay, all right. So I got that set up. Recycling a thumbnail. You guys come to that. Okay, let's get on with it then. So, coronation in a week, slew of new details released, but the Sussex's Psycho X, sorry, I mean the male, is out here splashing with stale gossip about their granola. Wonder when the palace, who still exhaustingly suck up to the rags, will release is actually, will realize is actually killing their brand. And it is killing their brand. It is killing their brand. Because if there's one thing, I'm just going to say the TikTok generation, if it's one thing that the TikTok generation understand, that's abuse. Now, people abuse the young people for being so in touch with their feelings. However, the other side of that is because they are so in touch with their feelings, when instead of allowing people to gaslight them or pretend otherwise, they are very fast to call out abuse when they see it. Again, they are very, very quick when it comes to calling out abuse. And, to pretend otherwise. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put on the troll spray. Let me put on some troll spray before they get in here. Okay. Let me put on some troll spray. I almost forgot. Let me see. Go back a week. So if you have only just subscribed within the past 7 days, you won't be able to join the conversation. But we have to do this, keep the riffraff out. So I'm gonna go back 1 week. What was I thinking? Like I said, there is a lot of information available, and I literally I was just reading stuff, listening to Lady Sussex and Charles and George, and oh man, I was just reading stuff. So you guys, if you're not hip to the Lady Sussex, I will be sure to put the link in here at some point. But H Night, good for me. I just opened up another window so I can see what you guys can see. I would have missed that otherwise. Thank you for 12 months of membership. I'm so glad I just did that. All right, so let me get off of here or get out of here and get back over to that page so that I can get back to the regular screen. Okay. Uh Do you see what I see? The emotional support Camilla will be crowned. Do you hear what I hear? a boo, a very loud boo. They anointed her head with holy oil. Do you smell what I smell? Her flesh is burning. Baby, when they put that holy oil on her, it's going to be just like that movie, The Thing. She going to start shaking and bucking and kicking and frothing at the mouth. I'm telling you, they messing with some very powerful forces. They are conjuring up some pretty powerful forces. Uh-oh. Now you know that was gonna catch my attention, didn't you? You know that caught my attention. Yes, yellow t-shirt guy. That was gonna catch my attention. Anina, thank you so much. As a matter of fact, you get a bell for that. All right. Anyway, we're not wishing anything bad on anybody. I'm just saying, between the both of those adulterers being placed on thrones above everybody else in the room, it's not to say that we all haven't fallen short of grace, but we're not asking people to ensconce us as enthrone us as the governor of the church either. And to flaunt such a relationship in front of the eyes of the world. Oh man, Rick, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for being here on Royal Sussex. All right, so let's go here, and let me finish up with this. Omen Scobie, who has been untethered by his connection to the Royal Rotor, has branched out, and so now he's at more liberty to say things that he feels, and he just puts it out there. I'm sure he's still being very careful, but at the same time, he has to be around certain people. So, but I like the new Omen Scobie. It's refreshing. Let's see. Lydia Washington says Family Baron is not covering the interview. Yeah, we're gonna. I stay away from that only on certain occasions. So yeah, we're not gonna do the Marco interview stuff. So if you guys would please respect that, because it is. It's something that we just avoid. So if you've been watching Royal Sussex for a while, you notice I don't bring up those people that much. So please kindly respect that. Maybe another forum somewhere, but that is not one of our things here. Let's see. Big Mama says the trolls taking the track to Luxembourg, saying Princess Alexandra bans Meghan from her wedding. I doubt Meghan even knows the Luxembourg royals. I didn't know anybody over there was getting married, and the idea that she was going to ban Meghan, I'm curious to know how many people within the British royal family are going in the first place. But a ban, and I'm not going to drag her because I'm sure, unless I know it came from her mouth, um, it's and one of the ploys of the tabloid media, they love to get people on the record trashing another person. What do you think about so and so? What do you think about so and so? And that's one of the things that helps them generate clicks or to bring in viewers. And so I don't even know who that person is that's getting married, but I hope that they are not gonna fall for that. I hope they're a little bit more sophisticated than that. Uh, okay, let's continue here. All right, so Prince Harry faces uniform humiliation at King Charles' coronation, while Brother William will be allowed to wear military garb. Okay, so we're going to do this again. Everybody knows everybody knows what Harry does to a uniform. And as you can see, Harry is like ramrod straight standing in that photo, whereas William, his shoulders are rolled forward. He has that sour look on his face. I mean, do I need to do this? I mean, I probably shouldn't, but I mean, if I do have to go there, I will. I am going to I'm gonna cut the piano because it kind of sets us in a certain mood when we listen to it with the piano. But this is Harry in his uniform. That uniform and Harry are one. If anybody has ever, and some of you old timers will know what I'm talking about when I say this, but y'all remember that movie Westworld? And one of the things, especially the ladies, a lot of the things that came out of that movie, besides all the sci-fi stuff, was that walk Yul Brenner had when he was playing the robot or whatever. But it was all about that walk seemed to resonate with people, or dare I say, even arouse some people. But it was all about his walk in that uniform. I mean, as the cowboy robot or whatever. And so you don't really hear that much about people the way they really field out their outfit or their clothing. But this is another one of those epic times in history when somebody just really defined the moment. Someone owned the apparel. And, usually it's a red carpet event. You never heard about the men. You only ever heard about the women. But Harry in this uniform, I'm sorry, they could not deal with it, so they had to come up with that. Oh, he wasn't even allowed to wear the Queen's cipher. Now, as you're looking at this, if number one, what is a cipher? And number two, how would you even notice that it wasn't there? Now, my theory is that that cipher, which is the Queen's initials, is supposed to go on, what do you call that? The epaulet or whatever that is on the shoulders. Well, that is probably, oh, as a matter of fact, you know what? We should listen to Colin Powell. Let's listen to Colin Powell.
Man who has grown up not just with good looks and also royal privileges. It would have been easy for him to choose a life of ease and leisure. Instead, he chose a more difficult path. And by so doing, he has become an example to millions of others. It is a path that fully embraces the noblest traditions of service to his country and to his fellow human beings. On the one hand, Prince Harry has bravely followed the tradition of generations of British royals before him by serving his country in the military. He has been an Army officer in the British Army since 2006 and deployed with the Household Cavalry Regiment Battle Group to Helmand Province in 2008. During his time there, he served in the front lines, directing British and American aircraft onto enemy targets. He has shown that he knows what it means to lead by example, even when it means possibly paying the ultimate price.
Okay, so I'm going to turn the sound back down for that, but that was Colin Powell's reflections about Prince Harry's service. Okay, all right. Shelly L., you say, hi, Baron. If I've said it once, I say it again. Those two aren't taking any chances. They'll be using Johnson & Johnson holy baby oil. Then they'll use it on their honeymoon. Welcome for that. You're welcome for that visual. Ooh, I tell you, Shelly L. Number one, thank you so much for the super chat. And number two, let me just say this: if if someone would have allowed an intervention of any type of oh, we don't want to miss Harry. There we go. I mean, look at Harry in that uniform. That just he cuts quite a figure in that uniform. He cuts quite a figure in that uniform. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So I was going to say that any type of like moisturizer or something that would help one hold moisture could have avoided this. If only, if only, if only. That's why they say the three things you must remember: moisturize, moisturize, moisturize. That is the best advice to anyone who's getting older. Actually, you want to start young. Moisturize, moisturize, moisturize. Thank you so much, Shelly L. I'm going to let this play while I look at some more of your comments. Let me see. Black Queen says if they keep pushing it, Harry may decide to let them eat dry stale cake and don't show up at their hot mess. Yeah, they could. Oh, thank you so much for the Cash App. I won't say the name ALD, but thank you very much for the Cash App. But yeah, they could put a stop to that. I mean, take a look at Harry. When he went on that tour of the US by himself, it was a solo trip, clean shaven Harry making his way. It was so much buzz and excitement about his appearance. And he even went to the, as you may have noticed there, he went to the Arlington National Cemetery. And this image of him was actually something that was at the Capitol building. They still have it from, I forgot what year this was, but they still have that image of Harry at the Arlington National Cemetery. And it kind of photobombed Joe Biden's inauguration. There was the life-size image, if not larger, but it was like this big poster, this big framed image of Harry in the background in the United States Capitol building. How about that? That's the type of impression that he made upon people during that visit. And this is the person that they believe in their hearts that they can continue to try and paint with these brushes of this paintbrush of despair to try to drag him, that somehow is going to have an impact on his character, especially where the military community is concerned. And maybe they're just doing this to ramp up the abuse for the coming Invictus Games, which, from what I can tell, is going to be huge. It's like having I'm not saying this as big as the Olympics, but for what it means to the people at this time in Dusseldorf, where they are painting the town gold and black or yellow and black, whatever the colors are. They're painting the town with the logo and with the images of the Invictus game. So that is going to be a huge event for Harry, for the Sussex family. And I guess they're trying to preempt that as much as possible by dragging all this uniform stuff again, but it's very silly. The Duke of Sussex did announce that he will be attending the historic coronation on May 6th, but he will be alone as Meghan and their two children, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, will remain at home. Wait, I don't see the price of the house. That's unusual. The royal commentators are considering what the prince will be wearing and whether he will even be allowed to fit within the procession. His obligation is to be there. Who cares? I'm going to move on. Let me take a look at your comments first. Let me see. Oh, Legs has a super chat. Is attacking the one veteran makes them look good? Yeah, Um, they, I don't understand. I keep saying I don't understand why they think this saga playing out in the eyes of the world. And when well, let's just take it as it is. We know that William and Charles have made deals with the tabloid media. We know for a fact that the tabloids have agreed to suppress certain information or to be favorable, if you will, to give favorable coverage to Charles. And I'm just saying that because I believe what Harry says is true. I believe what Harry says is true. So we know that that is a thing. We know that the royals will call their lawyers when things are not going their way. We know the Royals will make a deal so that they can get favorable coverage, which is why they hired someone from the Daily Mail to work in communication with Charles and Camilla. All of those things, we understand that, and like even here is so obvious. You have a new tab that features William and his kids, that features Charles, and of course the Sussexes. But where is "You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog" Camilla? Where is "You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog"? Where is Camilla? Where is Camilla? Where is the emotional support Camilla? They don't even feature her on any of those tabs. They always feature the Sussexes. They've had a Meghan Markle tab for the longest, and that's at the very top of the column when you go onto their webpage. That's at the very top of the column. But they don't have anything for "You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog" Camilla. Why is that? Is it because of the connections that she has made? Is it because of the deals that she has struck, the alleged deals for the lawyers that's listening? Is it the cozy connection between herself and Lord Nappyhead and his people? There must be some reason why she gets nothing but favorable coverage. Like that time when they said, oh, she looked radiant with her cinched waist. What cinched waist? I mean, part of what makes her waist is her breasts. Her breasts are tucked into her waistband. What cinched waist? Oh God. I mean, it's just the caucasity of it, That's what gets me. You're going on and on about how radiant she looked with her cinched waist, and she literally have her bosoms tucked into her waistband. I like this right here. This is what I keep looking for. I mean, there is the Camilla on the left, and then there is this ethereal image of this glowing, radiant, pious individual on the right. That is what they're selling to people. And I'm, for one, I'm sick of it. Do you hear me? Sick! I'm just sick of it. So thank you so much, Lex, for the super chat. And thank you, as always, for watching Royal Sussex. I mean, it really begs belief how they figure that this is sensible to do this, but they do it anyway. They do it anyway, and there's nothing you can say that'll stop them. They won't even give Charles the consideration of blanketed positive coverage for his family, no matter who they are, up until the point of the coronation. At least they put their knives away for the day when the Sussexes got married, but instead they decided, oh, well, we are going to counter that with programming that not only brings up Andrew, but we'll counter that with some images of those other people that I told you I don't feel like talking about. But yeah, so that is how they're going to play this. It really is shocking. I'm shocked. I really am. I know I say that way too much, but oh sorry, I just spilled my water. Um, but yeah, I'm just I'm thinking these are got to be logical people. They must have some degree of education. Why do they think that this is a good game plan? Or is it just about winning? Or is it just about the cult? Is it just about the money? Is it just about money? Or is it power? It's about power, perhaps. I don't think Rupert Murdoch is so worried about losing money as he is about losing power. You guys remember in the movie Matrix um, when what's her name, the Oracle, the guy asked, I think maybe it was Neo, asked the Oracle about that one particular character. Remember the one that was always, I think he had like the French accent. And she said, well, what does he want? And she said, what does all powerful men want? More power. It was just that simple. What does he want? More power. What drives him? More power. And for some people, that is it. Trump could have made a greater fortune if he would have just been if he would have just conducted business the way he was taught at university. But instead, it was more important to him to step over people. That was the point. The point of it is there is no point. And that seems to be how the tabloids function. There's no point to it, and that's the point. Yeah, like Eve's Bayou. That's the point. There is no point. Okay, is it Shell? Oh my goodness, I'm not sure how to say that, but is it Chilku? Chilku? Well, anyway, hello, Baron and Sussex squaddies. I think QE2 gave all the tea to Harry and Meghan. Is that right? Being colonizer Britain's young, befriend people of color for the last 50 years. Eyes are open now. Well, thank you so much for your comment, and thank you for sharing that with us today. Okay. All right. I see there's a bunch of comments, so I am going to do a big deep scroll, although I always love to hear from Trina Hodges. Harry already told them they could have back their titles and all. Whatever he wears, he still will outshine them all. I love that. Thank you so much. And Elaine McKay says, I wonder why Harry was invited in the first place if we are already debating what he's going to wear. People are still crying about Meghan not going, yet it is Archie's birthday. Charles needs as much support as possible. And if it only moves the polls, a few points that Harry is there, or if it moves the polls a lot that Harry is there, or if it doesn't do anything, the idea is, well, you know what? I will say this. As I go along, you'll see more of why I think Harry was invited. It's not Harry, it's like a combination of mechanisms that Charles wants to, or should I say, levers that he wants to pull to try to make to make the event complete. And it's all about shoring up support. His relationship with the media, with the tabloids, with the Murdoch people and such, is all about, it's like insurance. Like I just paid a fortune for car insurance. Car insurance has gone up a lot. I'm sure most of you guys know that. All insurance has gone up. And if you live in a place where there's, big weather events, Berta Sanchez, insurance has gone up. Amen. Let me see. It does not matter if Prince Harry wears his uniform or not. He will stand out just like he did at the Queen's funeral, looking like the king himself, walking down the They looked like a fool. Yeah, those around him, they looked like fools. The rest of the family, they looked foolish in those uniforms. Aging, pudgy, old farts walking around in those uniforms. And the thing is, Queen Anne, I'm sorry, not Queen Anne, but Princess Anne, I have to say this, Princess Anne had more, had cut a better figure in her uniform than her brothers. Her brothers looks old and slouchy and dumpy, but Princess Anne, she wore, I mean, Princess Anne, I have to say this, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I have a feeling that she is still rather fit, right? As someone her age would be. I think she's more like Jane Fonda fit. You know, Jane Fonda still has an amazing posture and everything. And I kind of feel like Princess Anne has not changed a lot over the years. And she actually looked more fit to be in the uniform than her brothers. I'm just saying she did. She didn't look like she was going to need a break for oxygen like the rest of them did. So go Anne. But then again, Anne is an athlete. She did compete in the Olympics, right? So there you go. But thank you so much, Berta Sanchez. But yeah, um, it's an insurance policy that Charles has taken out. And part of that policy is having Harry there. He needs as much as possible. That's why he could not tone down this coronation because he needs it. He really, really needs it. Peter Thatchell, if you don't know this guy, Peter Thatchell, he is like he's a ninja. He has a black belt in protesting, and I follow him on Twitter. And he says royal wealth is obscene. 23 royal palaces and residences, 700 servants, private wealth of $2 billion for King Charles. Personally has £2 billion. Personally has 1.8 billion. So his private wealth is worth 2 billion. Now, and you know what's interesting about that? Haven't I been saying that 1.8 is not enough? And I keep hearing people say, what is that, the 680 billion pounds? No, no, no. The wealth that Charles has is probably 3 or 4 times the amount. I'm going to say it's at least twice as much as that 1.8 million. I think you can multiply that by 2. Really. That's 5 times more than their known wealth at the time of the Diamond Jubilee in 2012. Yes, they have been stacking the dough. And as much as I say, you guys, oh, you know, the queen this, the queen that. I know y'all tired of me saying, oh, the queen, she didn't do this, maybe she. Listen, I'm not crazy. I'm not I'm not going to pretend like the queen was this most honest person and she doesn't deserve any blame for anything. And I'm also going to say this. The queen had offshore accounts. You can't take the money with you. You are insuring the wealth for your ancestors for the next at least 100, if not 200 years with all of that money that is stashed away. Why does the Queen need offshore accounts? Why does the Queen or Charles or any of them need so much money? But yet they have it. And that's what I've been saying. Whatever they tell you they have, start multiplying that because I assure you that it is so much more than that. If it's Trump, it's much less. If it's the Windsors, always assume that it's much more than that. Whatever they tell you something costs 150 million pounds for the Jubilee, they're not counting the security. They never disclosed the security. Denise Marcus says, Baron, are you talking about the thigh-high boots Camilla wore with the mini skirt? Yes, when they said her cinched waist. She had some boots on that day, and boy, I tell you, I'm just like, I kept looking at the caption, and I kept looking at, wait for it, I kept looking at the caption, and I was looking at the picture. I'm like, that's not the person that y'all talking about, surely. But yeah, it was. They were talking about Camilla, how she dazzled or whatever, and she had that cinched waist. Yeah, cinched with her boobs down in the waistband, sure. And wait, and this is her holding them up. Could you imagine if she ever let them go? Come on now. Um, it looked like something out of a Jules Verne novel. What is it? When the day the earth stood still, or when worlds collide, or something like that? That's what I'm thinking. Ma Jones wants to say hi to a few people, so let's help out with that. Well, listen, you guys, I don't want to just single out Camilla. As we are, I know the demographics of people that watch Royal Sussex. And let me just say, gravity is a mother. We all fight against gravity. Let me see here. I thought of plastic surgery, head to toe, but now I see Photoshop with Camilla's. Yes, they do a lot of smoke and mirrors, or should I say, a lot of photoshopping and such to give her that look, which is amazing because if that's what's left after they do all that, what was it like before? VS speaks royally. Hi, VS. Thank you for being here. Always honored. You know that. Chucky's trying to shore up support and then go blindsided by the WME bombshell. And then he got blindsided. I'm sorry, by the WME bombshell. His media will have to watch what they say about Harry and Meghan. Harry wears a uniform, a suit well, very, very well. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He is, he works it. Let me play that while I, what do you call it? While I look at some of your comments. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. I'm just saying what Harry does to that uniform. What whoever designed that uniform, they must have had this moment in mind. They must have had Harry in mind. And maybe that's why William was so cross with Harry for wearing that particular uniform. Because wait a minute, William wanted to wear black for his wedding, but he wasn't allowed. He had to wear the red tunic for the Grenadier Guards or whatever. And he didn't like the fact that he had to wear red and Harry got to wear black. That's because Harry doesn't wear it, he wears it. That's why. Big doofus. Boy, William just rubs me the wrong way. Okay. All right. So I'm doing a bunch of scrolling here. Oh, yeah. Let me see. 86 billion. Princess Charlotte was listed amongst the richest kids in the world with a fortune of over 4 billion. 86 billion is a monumental understatement. They have several figures that they throw around in order to sow seeds of confusion about what they're really worth, but it is so much greater. I don't think people really take into account the vast art and jewelry collection away from what they have with the Crown Estate, because the provenance for things, okay, at this point, unless the royal family is engulfed by some scandal involving, well, we've already had that, but I mean, like of the worst magnitude, then the provenance of things that they own, things that have been passed down, the antiquity. One of the best places to invest is in art, because a lot of those art prices, they kind of ebb and flow. They ride up and down with the economy, but for the most part, they are still quite the investment. I think it was 60 Minutes, 60 Minutes US, the real 60 Minutes, there's a company that has a vault where they store precious works of art. You can store your stuff there. You can request time to spend time with your things. But if you buy, let's say, a $6 million painting, you don't want to keep it in your home. You keep it with this company because it's an investment. And the vaults are fireproof, bomb proof, everything else proof as it could possibly be. It's just like putting your possessions in Fort Knox. That's why I say they downplay how much wealth that family owns. If they ever did a proper accounting of it, I think people would stand at the driveway, the entrance of Windsor Castle with torches and pitchforks. It would be like some type of scene from Les Miserables. Jacqueline Squash says, "Good evening, Baron, moderators, and Squatty family. We are going to keep right on praying without ceasing for the Sussex family, Mom Doria, and all of the people of God's Almighty. Amen, amen, amen." Thank you so much, the official chaplain of Royal Sussex. Thank you very much, Jacqueline Squash. Okay, let me move on because I am getting so far behind. Okay, so we are all invited to swear our allegiance to the king. Yep, long live the king, right? For the first time in history, millions across the country will be asked to make their promise to the king by saying the following out loud. I swear that I will pay true allegiance to your majesty and to your heirs and successors according to law, to the law. I'm right, to law, right? And so help me God. Now, I want you guys to know that the royalists, the sycophants, the derangers, they ought to be very concerned about the last part of that, because not only are they swearing an oath of allegiance to Charles, but also they are taking an oath of allegiance to, okay, where is he? Where is he? This guy. This guy. They are swearing to protect him, right? And her. You're also, that covers her. And you're also protecting Kate's hair extensions, right? And I mean, to all of his heirs, right? Well, she's not an heir, but this person, you're giving your oath of allegiance to Mr. Sourpuss, Mr. Incandescent with Rage, and all those who follow. But as they say, the unintended law of consequences, you're also promising your allegiance to Archie and Lily. They are swearing to protect Archie and Lily. I'm not saying they're going to live up to it, but that is part of heirs and successors, right? So that's part of it because they are in line to the throne. So what's it going to be? What is it going to be? I swear that I will pay true allegiance to your majesty and to your heirs and successors according to the law. There you go. You got to protect everybody because anybody has the potential of being put on that throne. Let's say if the Windsors have a really bad day, we may be looking at Queen Lilibet Diana or King Archie. Archie Harrison, Mountbatten-Windsor, the King of England, Scotland, Wales, and the Commonwealth. And of course, I know I always skip this, but that includes King Harry. King Harry. You also would be swearing your oath of allegiance to King Harry. So that's, I'm just saying, technically, that blankets all of them. And there you go. I mean, this was everywhere today. Archbishop will ask millions to pledge allegiance to their king. And over here, king's solemn vow to serve us all. And of course, millions watching invited to pledge their allegiance. And there's that photo of Will and Kate from 2022, 2021. There's that old photo that they keep pulling out. Yes, you got to swear allegiance to sausage fingers. That's what they want, Nighty Night. I mean, I know you're not going to do it, but that's what they're asking you. Now, Coronation public that is, invite to swear allegiance to King Charles. And then over here, you can see Republic. That was all they needed to hear. The coronation is now expected to cost the country 250 million pounds. That's 173 million pounds. I'm sorry, 170. Let me pull this down so I can see that. That's 173,611 pounds a minute for every minute of the day on May the 6th. And for what we're supposed to all pledge allegiance to Charles. All right. And then, of course, the big shockaroonie, Angela Levin. I'm a huge believer in the monarchy, but I am not going to swear to allegiance to step too far, I'm afraid. So Angela Levin says, thanks, but no thanks. I'm not going to do it. People watching the ceremony are supposed to, though, right? And so, of course, she was quickly admonished by one of the royalists. Why would you state this publicly? You make a living out of all things royal. Perhaps some things should be kept private. Sorry, but you have lost me as a fan, and no doubt many more will follow. I love the end of that, where they kind of wish, they try to project their feelings onto everybody else, and no doubt many more will follow, as if anybody's really paying attention. It's not because they love Angela Levin. It's because they are hating someone else. It's never about how much they love a person, like a hoghead Pierce Morgan. It's not that he really has fans, but some people are united in hate. And that's what a lot of politicians realize. Like, for instance, Trump. I'll mention Trump again. What hate brings people together. If there's anything that unifies ignorant people, that is hate. Because if you hate someone you don't know and you never met, then you're ignorant. And that is something that they have in common. I don't know how you could hate somebody. I can understand that you don't like a person, that you're not a fan of their ways or something, but hate is very intense. I don't hate anybody. I can't even be angry at someone that I don't love. So how could I hate someone? The only people that can really hurt you, in my book, are people that you love. But a stranger, yeah, whatever they may have done could have been despicable and awful or hateful, but to have uh yes, I did. I did do that. How long did it take you to notice? Yeah, I say, you know what? You know what? I think I need to correct this. Sheila Watson says people hate what they fear or they don't understand. Sheila Watson, you get a bail for that. That is brilliant. That is so true. People hate things they don't understand. They hate things they don't understand. Yeah, thank you so much for those wise words. So, Coronation 2023, there are products that you can buy for the coronation that will help you navigate the day. Bend the knee peasant pads. Uh, Lose your dignity, but save your knees. Food vouchers accepted as payment. So yeah, if you guys are you're welcome. If you guys are, let's say that right now you believe that you're not going to uh, do that oath, but there may be some type of latent um, monarchist inside of you that just drives you to your knees on the coronation day. And if that is the case, why end up confined to a wheelchair for months because of a damaged knee? Why end up on crutches when you could take the proper precautions and buy some knee pads in advance of the coronation? So they have these padded trousers, or it looks like it's just, yeah, okay. Okay, I see the way that works. But yeah, you can just use this just in case. You can lose your dignity and save your knees all in the same breath. All right, so this is one of those hyper realism AI images. And you guys, I have not tried that yet, but they have apps that you can use on your computer that will, you say, I want to see Charles in the middle of a uh, filthy neighborhood or alley or something like that, um, in his royal regalia, and I guess that's just a random child, then the computer will actually generate these images. So when you see these images like this, I want to remind you again, I know I mentioned it before, but this is computer generated. There's no one that sat there and tried to sort this out. They generated this using artificial intelligence. And I like the fact that the computer still included those puffy hands. Now, it looks like the hand is actually backwards. It looks like the hand is on backwards. But anyway, again, the AI is only going to get better as time goes by, but it's incredible what the computer power can do these days. Leg says, are these knee pads advertised by Lord Peggington? Um, I have it. I have it by a good, reliable source that that trip to Poland may have involved. Let me stop. But yes, thank you so much for that, Legs. And I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that he has invested in that particular company. I am sure that if you look at the Duchy of Cornwall, you will see that some of the recent activity where their banking and such is concerned involve that particular startup company that sells those knee pads. I'm sure of that. So, right here, Charles and Camilla is the greatest love story of all time, said no one ever, except perhaps the Tampax PR team. Now, mind you, this is Dr. Brooke Newman. This is the woman that is investigating the connections between the royal family and the transatlantic slave trade. And I think that we may be somehow having an influence on this very well educated doctor of, what is it, anthropology, or I forget what her doctorate is, but oh no, it's not anthropology. It's oh gosh, I can't remember what her specialty is, but I think we're having a bit of an influence on her. Uh, but or maybe she just maybe she just came up with that on her own. I don't know, but That is what she tweeted. That is on her Twitter account. So she's not a royalist. I'll just say that. I do believe she's an American. I think she's from Texas, and she's definitely not. She's not Lucy Worsley. She's not Lucy Worsley by a long stretch. She's not one of those curators of the royal household or royal collections. Definitely not that. She is all about the truth bombs. So I was so surprised when I saw that. I kept looking. I'm like, really? But let's get to the greater point of this gaslighting. I just said yesterday, beware of the gaslighting. And here we go again. They are still trying to gaslight us. Now, the way I used yesterday had to do with the relationship between Harold and Catherine. Gaslighting free zone, right? You're not changing the conversation, although they are trying. So now they are trying to sell this idea. And dig the move, you guys. This is part of the greater strategy that they have been working on. They want us to accept. They want us to accept that Camilla is the rightfully enthroned queen, and that Diana, there was actually an article the other day saying that Diana was the first to have an affair, right? This is all a rolling narrative that they are spelling out a story. And remember, I said this before, you don't necessarily have to buy the magazine. You don't have to buy the newspaper. You don't need to do any of that. It is going to show up in your news feed on your cell phone or on your tablet or on your computer. It is going to somehow make it into your consciousness. And what they expect people to do is to see this and say to themselves, and not even consciously, but subconsciously, to change your feelings toward Camilla and for you to really believe that the rightful place for her to be is where Diana was supposedly going to be before the relationship fell apart, before they started gaslighting Diana, before they tried to brainwash us and convince her that she had mental issues, before they tried to put the entire responsibility of what happened to her because she was too lustful for Arab men, or it's something that they're trying to convince us that Diana was bad. Remember the what's the photographer's name? Arthur Edwards, right? Arthur Edwards, how he said, well, the thing is, Camilla is much easier to work with. She's easier to get along with, and Diana wasn't. And those little things, they seem so petty and childish, but they're not doing it because they just want to do it. They're doing it because for some people it works. It works. When I look at the comments and I see someone has commented, Meghan doesn't have any friends. She sent her wedding ring back to her first husband. I always be thinking to myself, what the F do you care what she did? Really? What do you care? If that is true or if it's not true, what do you care? What do you care? She doesn't even talk to her own father. The man is certifiably nuts. And some people, they're mentally, you cannot do anything with them. But there is no great reward for staying around someone like that. Some big old beer guzzling grifter, that is, allegedly. You're not going to win any prizes by sticking around and allowing a person like that to abuse you. You don't get prizes for sticking around and accepting abuse for people. It's a toxin that erodes away at your health, that just nibbles off bits of your being, and you don't ever get that back. You don't get to be back in that happy place you were in when you allow someone to tear you down like that. But that is what a lot of those people that hate Megan, not that they love the Cambridges, but they just hate Megan. And whether you want to call it racism, which I think it is, or maybe it's an unconscious bias. Maybe they don't see themselves as that person, but that's who they are. They are racist and they are hating for the sake of hate. They do hate Megan for who she is and where she comes from. They do hate her because of her African blood. They do. They would have never found her acceptable in the first place. And the best evidence of that is the first negative thing they hear, and that just connects both ends of it as far as they're concerned. How easy is that for them to hate someone? And those are the same people that voted for Brexit. Those are the same people that were so easily persuaded to accept a Donald Trump in spite of everything that people knew about him. It was so easy for people to accept him. And what gets me is that some of them believe that he's doing the Lord's work, ripping off people and gaining a financial fortune from your time in office, not after you leave, but while you're there. At least most politicians, or should I say most presidents, yeah, there's a big payoff once you leave office. I mean, you could give speeches and stuff like that. Not Donald Trump. He got paid while he was there. He put people in his hotel and they turned the other way. It did not happen. It was not an issue because they so believed in him because of all the things that he hated, because of all of the people that he destroyed. They believed in him for some twisted reason. And that's the same way it is with the royal family. No matter how much wealth they have, no matter how many people are hurt, they still believe in that institution. And Charles, with all of his flaws, it's not even so much that all of them support him, but they just hate that woman of color. They hate Harry for actually loving someone like that, for putting her ahead of everything else that they believe in. They hate him for that. BW, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex and also for being a member of Royal Sussex. And unfortunately, I didn't get those photos that I was hoping for. So we're going to have to try to do something different, but we will sort this out because speaking for everyone here, we want to see BW's Spain. Okay. Let me go on to the next slide. Now, first, let me take a look at some more of you guys' comments here before I jump ahead. Black Queen says, how is it Diana is the first one that cheated when Camilla was, oh, I see you were hot when you typed that out didn't you? But when Camilla was always the third person in her marriage. Exactly. But they are trying to convince us. And wait. Let me tell you what we're supposed to believe. Charles married Diana out of a sense of obligation. Follow this now. He married her out of a sense of obligation. And then and I'm not saying Charles said this, but this is what we're supposed to believe. Diana was the one who cheated first. And when Charles saw that things had fallen apart, that he went back to the arms of Camilla for consolement. And somehow one thing led to another. And before you know it, the both of them were talking about tampons. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't her fault. It was Diana that caused those two people to start fantasizing about feminine hygiene products. Diana did that. Yeah, that was Diana's fault. They would have never approached the subject of feminine hygiene products to achieve arousal if it wasn't for Princess Diana. That is the way the story goes, is that Diana cheated first and that Charles was so upset he went to his friend Camilla, who he had a relationship with in the past, an adulterous relationship for her, seeing that she was married. And that's when they started getting close again, even though they never stopped spending time alone, even though they used to go to other people's homes for weekend parties and shooting parties and dinners. He would show up with her, but they were just friends, while Diana was someplace else having an affair. For Charles, he was with an old friend. For Diana, she was having an affair. And then the big transition we have to make Charles look good is to say that Diana had mental problems. She came from a broken home. She didn't have enough education. So she probably didn't know what she was doing, right? Because she didn't have enough education. I've heard that one before. And then also, she was the one who started cheating first. That is the narrative that is supposed to save Charles for his inauguration and as his time on the throne as king, is that all of this was out of his control. It was all Diana's fault, not Camilla, not Charles, nobody else's but Diana's. That is the unvarnished truth, as far as they know it, is that we don't look at Charles and Camilla. We don't assume that their friendship was anything more than that, even though she was with Charles while she was still married to her first husband. None of that makes a difference. Charles spending tens of thousands of dollars buying jewelry that was once gifted to her great 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 grandmother, who was also an adulteress. We ignore all that. This is all a matter of circumstantial evidence. Amen. So thank you so much for that, Black Queen, for giving me an opportunity to explain the untruth as they told it, not the truth as we know it, but the untruth as they told it. But that is what they're trying to sell to people. And unfortunately, I think some people buy it. This damaged, broken Diana who didn't have control over anything. And William is right there to co sign that. William has signed off on it. Charles and Camilla is the greatest love story of all time. I kid you not, that is a real thing. This was in the Telegraph. This was in the Telegraph. Our new king and queen have weathered more storms than most, but their unique bond has prepared them for their next endeavor. Are you all looking at this? Are you all looking at this? This is the story for today's Telegraph. Charles and Camilla is the greatest love story of all time. You know what? You know what? For you to be that close to the person sitting next to you and leaning into their faces you got to be close. You got to love that person to look inches away from your face and see something like this and something like this and convince people. Church Nelly, Church Nelly, I better change the subject because I don't want you to get all riled up. We need you back whole and complete. I don't want to get you all riled up. But this is the thing. This is supposed to be this is closing the deal, you guys. This is closing the deal. First, you convinced us that Diana started the affair first, right? Diana started the affair. You went back to Camilla. Uh, both of you somehow got on the topic of feminine hygiene products. I'm still trying to work that out. And then you realize, wait a minute, we were meant to be together, weren't we? Isn't that something? How do we let this escape us? So that's what we're supposed to believe. Oh no, too late, Baron, already on fire from this terrible hospital food. Oh no, Church Nelly. Now, is there any way we can no, I'm not gonna do that. I was gonna say, is it any way we can use the DoorDash and get you something? Oh man. Uh-oh. Now you know what? I think that there is someone who can shed light on everything that's going on right now, direct from the other side, Her Majesty the Queen. If anybody can sort this out for us, it will be Her Majesty the Queen. So let us get into character, shall we? Hold on a second. Let me do this because we haven't heard from her in a while. Matter of fact, we haven't heard anything about 1992 in ages. I was starting to get concerned. 1992 seemed like it was just yesterday. Oh man, it seemed like it was just yesterday. So let me do this. Oh man, oh there it is. There it is. Okay. All right, I'm almost there. Here we go. Okay, so anyway, Her Majesty wants you all to know royal message. I, Queen Elizabeth II, ruler of the United Kingdom, and the art that is up for auction because Will and Kate lost half the Commonwealth, do hereby declare we cannot forget Anne's boyfriend became Camilla's husband. Yes, Your Majesty, that's right. Anne was dating Camilla's husband, and Charles got involved with Camilla. Wow, Anne, thank you so much, Your Majesty. Thank you. And listen, Your Majesty, thank you so much for giving Harry enough tea to pour in a court of law. Thank you so much, Your Majesty. And thank you so much, Sean, for communicating to the great beyond. And thank you for the super chat. Yes, let us not forget that Her Royal Highness, the Princess Royale, is what they call her. Princess Anne was actually having a relationship with Camilla's first husband, whilst Charles was, playing around with Camilla. What a twisted family. They even depict that in the crown. So, yes, thank you, Your Majesty. Thank you. All right. So, there is something to consider as we weave all these things together is that there is that history. Let me see. Black Queen says, Baron, I watched the documentary this weekend with Betty when she did her Annis her Annis her when she did that speech in 1992. I don't know why I cannot say that. Annis her herbivore. Her Annis herbivore. 1992. That was that famous speech That was when the Queen had to break it down. That was her worst year ever. 1992 is a year that I shan't look back upon with undiluted pleasure. And while she was doing the speech, Philip was just like, he had his hands up to his face because I think Philip didn't think that speech was a good idea. But then again, you know what? It was so rare that the Queen ever allowed anybody in, if you know what I mean. She always was so guarded with her feelings. So thank goodness she did kind of let loose. Let me see here. But thank you so much for that, Black Queen. All right, so there is a way to help Charles. You know, they were concerned about the coronation ring. There is a ring that weds the monarch to his people. And they were afraid that by the time Charles sat through the beginning of the coronation, that they might not be able to slip that bracelet, I'm sorry, that ring on his finger. So, they have actually come up with a way to ensure that the coronation will not be disrupted by Charles's ever bloating sausage fingers. Jose Williams, thank you so much for becoming a new member of Royal Sussex. Thank you so much, and happy Sunday to you. But yes, they have found a way to ensure that the coronation will continue without any hiccups. Now, exclusive, the UK government has sent resources intended to teach children about King Charles' coronation and the role of the monarchy in the UK to councils across Scotland, despite education being devolved. So, in other words, why are you deciding to spend money to indoctrinate school children to this idea of the importance of the monarchy when there's so many other ways that they could use that money? You want to hold out spending money on things that are more necessary and instead infuse that capital, if you will, with money to project this propaganda into the hearts and minds of school children. And right here, you can see, geez, just reading these pledges makes me utterly sick. And independent Scotland should ditch these leeches as soon as possible and claim back our lands and possessions that have been stolen from the people. Now, that is the sentiment of the majority of people in Scotland. They want to do away with this. Oh, very cool. Very cool. We will definitely, let me take a peek and see what I got there. Oh boy. You know, I can't wait to see it. Ooh. Nice. Oh, I see you went to the Seville Cathedral. Oh my goodness. And that, okay, I know that place. Wow. What a blessing. What a blessing. I can't wait to share this with you guys. I'm going to share those with you guys tomorrow. But thank you so much for that. That brings back memories. Thank you so much for that. Those are beautiful. Okay, let me take a look at a couple of more of your comments. I can only imagine the conversation about who was better. I'm glad I caught myself. Ugh. Oh boy, I tell you. You know, one of the ways to deal with that is you're supposed to turn the water hose on them. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to turn up the tap on the water hose. I feel dirty now. Wait a minute. Wait. Okay, now let me say it. Ugh. 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 Yuck. Ugh. Okay. Ugh. Ugh. My mind eyes. Uh, oh, BW, I understand. When you when you're in Spain, it's like every place you turn is a postcard moment. It's like every angle looks like another postcard. Spain is so beautiful. You guys, if you have been pining for a trip to Europe, I'm telling you, consider Spain and Portugal. All right, so I cannot pronounce that name. Priyamava. Okay, wait. I think I got this. Priyavada Gopal. Peasants, you are asked to chant, I swear that I will pay true allegiance to your majesty and to your heirs and successors according to law, so help me God. Now, she goes on to say, I swear to continue paying allegiance to rule by wealth and to all who profiteer and siphon off money from the public, well, according to law or not, so help me keep believing that money is God. What is that? Something forever and ever. Uh, Let me see. And this is very blurry. As others have noted, swearing allegiance to Charles heirs is swearing allegiance not just to the loathsome William, but also Andrew and non-sweaty lawsuit settler. I'm sorry, the non-sweaty. Okay, and who else does it say here? Okay, getting the masses to swear filthy, felty to one of the most wealthiest men ever as they are daily further impoverished by profiteers is really the only statement you need on the decline of Britain. Yeah, she went there. And as a matter of fact, I think she was in the Daily Mail. Professor, that name Gopal, has compared those who take part in the pledge to peasants who will be paying allegiance to rule by wealth and all their profiteers and siphon off money from the public well, according to law or not. So, yeah, the Daily Mail, for whatever reason, decided to throw that in there. You guys, I'm here for it. I'm just thinking if you have made these bargains, why are you throwing these little truth bombs in there? Maybe they just don't want to look so inauthentic that they are, whatever. But okay, 1 second, you guys. Okay, my sinuses always kick in when I'm working. All right, and right here, 150 million pounds on security hikes up Coronation bill. Um, I think the Queen's funeral is probably the most expensive thing that they've ever had to do in that country ever in terms of a state function. I think this is going to rival the Queen's funeral. This is going to rival the Queen's funeral because just like with the Queen's funeral, Charles had to go around to all the realms so that each of the autonomous parliaments would declare him as the sovereign. right? And so he is going to go around again after the coronation to thank them. So for days, there's going to be nothing but Charles and Camilla. Get ready for it. Now, watch as Celtic fans sing "You Can Shove Your Coronation Up Your Behind." Let me get that video going for you guys. I got a kick out of it. Let's see, where is it? Oh, no, that's not it. I went the wrong direction. Eastbound and down, 18 wheels are rolling, and we're gonna do what they say can't be done. My. What a difference a sovereign makes. One more time. One more time. Yes, yes. So, if that is any indication of how some people in the population feel about this coronation, but if you guys are thinking that this is anyway going to impact events, well, you're right, because, well, I don't know. I think that with 6,000 military people, there's going to be a lot of the, you know, protests walled off away from the procession, and it has had an impact because they had to shorten the procession. The Queen's procession back in the 50s was much longer, but this one I think is about half the size. So they've had to make some adjustments for sure. Cheaper food after EU exit. That was back in 2016. The reality, staggering 16.7% rise in food prices. So they have gone through a lot of trouble to try to sell the idea that the Brexit was a good thing, only for the reality to creep in that when it comes to performance, this country, which has gone through the expense of the Queen's state funeral and will continue to spend a lot of money because of the coronation. Of course, these things were planned years in advance. But the thing is, the Queen was popular, and I'm pretty sure, even though there was protests, a lot of people didn't mind so much. But for Charles, it is the opposite. With the price of food and other things like rent and housing costs, and of course, it takes longer to get through the what is it, the NHS. You can't even see a doctor anymore. With all of those things going on, Charles wants this big elaborate event, and it is rubbing people the wrong way, and rightly so. Okay, now you guys, I cannot play. You know what, I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to play the video. I'm not going to play this video because the children are in it, and I don't want to be a part of that. However, I will play the audio. Somebody, do you guys remember this video they made? They said it looked like it was some kind of, what is that, outdoor apparel company? Anyway, they said it looked like it was a commercial where they had the kids running around and laughing and stuff like that. And they ate marshmallows over a fire. Well, someone decided to add a different audio, and I wish I could share it, but I just don't want to do it because those kids are in it. So we don't want to do anything like that with the kids, but I will let you listen to it. And just, I know it's a stretch, but just visualize that commercial like video that they released with their children. And if you know what the Valtrex is, then if you don't know what it is, look it up. Look it up, okay? And that way you can get a better take on what's going on.
Genital herpes can be a hassle. Whenever I had an outbreak, it felt like it took days out of my life. But then I talked to my doctor about Valtrex. Just one pill a day helped reduce the number of my outbreaks. And now, I've been outbreak-free for nearly a year. It's a brand new day. In a one-year clinical study among people with genital herpes.
I didn't know that it was going to have that song in it.
In a one-year clinical study among people with genital herpes who took Valtrex, at 6 months, over half were outbreak-free. After 1 year, a third were outbreak-free. Now my days are right where they belong. It's a brand new day. There is no cure for herpes. Even with treatment, it may be possible to spread herpes. Valtrex may not prevent all recurrences. Living with genital herpes can be a hassle. Whenever I had an outbreak, it felt like it took days.
Now, for the lawyers that are listening, of course, we do not believe that either one of them are suffering from something like that. But it does kind of look like one of those commercials. If you recall the video, it does kind of look like one of those commercials. So there you have it. Of course, this is a parody. There's no truth to it. I'm certain of that. But I thought it was funny. And it is easy. I mean, that video that they had, that could have been any type of medical or medicine or treatment or something like that. It could have been any of those things. It was a very strange video. And this is the couple who said that they were not going to do to their children what has been done to the other children in the past. But now all they have is pushing their children out in front of the cameras. That's all they have. They don't have anything else but those kids, which is pretty sad. But that's the only card that's the best hand. I just say that is the best hand they have, is throwing those kids out there, because otherwise they got nothing. They got nothing. Oh, okay. Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you for the The PayPal I just received. Yeah, I don't mention names for the PayPals. Only the initials, but thank you so much for that PayPal. All right. Okay. So it's a brand new day. It's a brand new day. I'm sure it is. It's a brand new day. Ask your doctor about Valtrex. It's a brand new day. If you want to control outbreaks, they should, you know what? They should have made they should make one called Baldtrex about his male pattern baldness. It's a brand new day. Baldtrex will protect you from losing any more of your hair follicles. It's a brand new day. Ask your doctor about Baldtrex. Woo! Ask your doctor about Baldtrex for the bald head men in your life. Suggest Baldtrex. It's a brand new day. Oh man. Okay, let's move on. I will go here. So, you guys, Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, Ford Fiesta, now Ford Escape. She was the Countess of Wessex, but she's been upgraded, and now she is the Duchess of Edinburgh. And instead of being a Ford Fiesta, she's a Ford Escape. Well, anyway, Duchess Sophie was spotted leaving Kate Middleton's hairdresser with new look ahead of Coronation. Oh, thank you so much for the Venmo. Let me see here. I won't say the name, but okay. Wait. Okay. Yes, but thank you so much for the Venmo. Greatly appreciate it. It's a brand new day. Yeah, so she was seen coming out of Kate Middleton's hairdresser. Now, on the surface, that seems pretty understandable, right? But when you think about it, well, I'll put it to you like this: what could possibly go wrong? Well, right here it says the new Duchess of Edinburgh, Sophie, was spotted leaving a hairdresser known to be frequented by Kate Middleton. Oh, so now we know who's responsible. After appearing to have had her hair color that is refreshed. Um, you mean that's not natural? Really? Ahead of King Charles' historic coronation next week. The final countdown is on to King Charles' coronation, with the royals no doubt making their final preparations for the big day. And it appears Sophie, the new Duchess of Edinburgh, is among them after she was spotted leaving a London hair salon, having appeared to have had a shiny color refreshed. Interesting. The Duchess cuts a casual figure. There they go talking about her. In her comfy trainers and stylish trousers. Oh, I wish, you know what? I wish I had the whole picture now as she made her way. Made her way through the upmarket Chelsea after a long appointment. I bet it was long at the Richard Ward Salon, more like the Crazy Ward Salon. Uh, Ward is known to have tinted. I'm sorry. Has all right. One more time. Ward is known to have tended to the tresses of Princess of Wales and It is believed that Sophie spent around 5 hours, good God, 5 hours having her hair color and cut perfected early this week ahead of the coronation next week. After leaving the hairdresser, the 58, she's only 58? Really? She's only 58? Oh my God, what have they done to that woman? But anyway, the 58-year-old who was married to the late Queen's youngest son, Edwina, Princess Edwina, carried her handbag as well as another bag seemingly full of hair products. I bet you it wasn't. I bet you was a lot of stuff in that bag to keep it. Anyway, let me stop. Seemingly full of hair products. Her hair refreshed early. Refreshed early this week came before she spent a busy few days carrying out engagements at a wide range of venues, which absolutely nobody noticed. I'm pretty sure. I bet. I bet you there's people that were at some of the venues that didn't even notice that she was there. The only way they knew she was there, they read about it in the paper, right? Including a performing arts college, and a women's institute afternoon tea. I bet you nobody even noticed she was there. I'm telling you, she's like the wallpaper. Uh, Uh, well, let me see. Do we know if the salon has a refund policy? You know, I think after these photos have emerged, I think after these photos have emerged that they will be hearing probably from the lawyers at the royal family's attorneys might get in touch with them for letting that poor girl leave that place looking like that. Now, if this is what she looked like coming out of the place, how did she look on her way in? That's what I want to know. But and she's only 58. Wow. Okay. Thank you, YM Droid, for the super sticker. So, as I said, her going to Kate's hairdresser, what could possibly go wrong? Well, you want to know what could go wrong? This can go wrong. This is what happens when you go to Kate's hairdresser. So, if in the very near future, if Ford Fiesta, Ford Escape has that big voluminous hair look, we'll know why. It just hasn't lifted yet. It's probably one of those things where it gets bigger by the day. So probably in a couple of days, her hair is going to look like this, like she was standing too close to a helicopter. So yeah, like I say, what could possibly go wrong? The other thing that I noticed is that they must do some kind of treatment because notice she got that Kate Middleton mouth now. Now her mouth is twitching and got that little facial tick like Kate Middleton. So if you ask me, I think that someone should advise the newly minted Duchess of Edinburgh to avoid that beauty salon because not only do they do something to your hair, now she's got that funny looking mouth like Kate. See how her mouth is like twitching? She got that weird mouth thing going on. So um oh man. Oh well. Whatever she looks like now, I'm sure it's an improvement. One of the squatties wanted to point out that they seem to have it in for Megan because of her history in acting. But yet, when you look at the history of the family, Sarah Ferguson's new career in films revealed, the mother of Princess Beatrice And Princess Eugenie is so talented. Remember that? I don't. What about this one? I remember this one. Prince Edward, The Hollywood Years, Why His TV Career Ended in a Right Royal Disaster. Because he was part of it, that's why. And then, of course, right here, Inside Princess Beatrice's Brief Time as an Actress. Again, something I don't recall. And David Rock Savage, that's Rose's husband. David Rock Savage, I love that name. Rock Savage was born on the 27th of June, 1960, in Cholmondeley Castle, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, he has a IMDb page. I don't know what for, but he has a page. He must have done something. So they like to dabble in in theater, or should I say acting, and that's all they do is dabble. Okay, so right here. Now, this was pretty cool, you guys. Take a look at this. If you aren't careful, the newspapers will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing. And what is so clever about this is that it is spelled out with the logo and fonts of the major publications that have been so malicious and evil to so many people over the years. So the very top one, you probably recognize that is the Express, followed by the Telegraph, the Independent, the Sun. A matter of fact, why don't I just do this? There you go. Telegraph, Times, Independent, Sun, Guardian. No, sorry. The Times, Independent. Yeah, what did I say? Express, Times, Independent, Sun, Guardian, the Telegraph, the Metro, and the Daily Mail, which just coincidentally happens to be on the bottom of the pile. And if that doesn't spell it out for you, how about this? I took the time to just go ahead and match them up. The one that I couldn't figure out was the Guardian. That was the toughest one for me, was the Guardian. And other than that, I recognized all the others. Well, let's face it, they were pretty easy except for the Sun. But then again, that was easy. But that is so cool. So I don't know who put this together or how long ago it happened, but this was on the social media. And I just thought, wow, that is so apropos. If you aren't careful, the newspapers will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing. Amen. All right, so there you go. Now, you guys, check it out. Check it out. I kind of found this randomly on the interweb, and the person who posted it said that it was on a friend's Facebook page, right? So it's in the public domain. However, that is a prom dress. I repeat, that is a prom dress. Thumbs up or thumbs down. I love the drama. I am going to give it 2 thumbs up. I think she is absolutely causing it. I think she is absolutely causing it. It is, I mean, just I'm getting that Met Gala vibe. If Anna Wintour is watching Royal Sussex, I say get this girl to the Met Gala. Get this girl to the Met Gala because she is causing it. This is what happens when you have a drag queen in the family. When there's a big event coming up, you know who to turn to. So that is gorgeous. That is gorgeous. I love it. Everything about it, I love it. But yeah, you kids going to prom nowadays, you all are doing things that I would say 10, 20 years ago just did not exist. And to think that sometimes they used to worry about the girls showing too much. This is this is like, it's very tasteful. It is a lot for prom, but you know what? It's no different than when they have like those cotillions and coming out parties and stuff like that. So I love it. Drama, drama, drama. Um, sometimes we kind of get signals as we're growing up where things just seem to keep happening. Harry seems to have had a certain um, moment here and there that seems to have predicted his future, I think. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Whether it was doing a walkabout as a child, or if you were doing something for the Queen or whatever. I don't know what that occasion was, but I tell you, that just, it's like predicting the future, isn't it? Not sure. Sophie has Queen Andrew and still, let me see. Right? I think that she, instead of hiring a stylist or something like that, Sophie should just really ask her non-binary husband. Um, okay. Oh, and by the way, thank you so much for the super chat. Let me see here. And then, of course, there is the plot that Megan had behind those horn-rimmed glasses. There she is, probably on the Universal Studio tour, plotting at that very tender young age. How in the world am I going to make it into that royal family? Somehow, someday, some way, I shall be a royal princess. Even at that tender young age, behind those horn-rimmed glasses is a diabolical mind that is going to conquer the world, that is going to ruin the Charles's coronation and bring down the House of Windsor, Windsor, Windsor. When it's something that diabolical, you have to have an echo to bring down the House of Windsor, Windsor, Windsor. I thought that young lady was royalty in one of those African countries. Stunning. Yes, let's go back to that. I don't get tired of looking at it. I love that. Isn't that beautiful? Thank you so much for the super chat. That is beautiful. Well, from what I'm to understand, they say it was a prom dress. I don't know for sure. I just saw it. And let me see if I can do a image search on that one. Let me see if I can do an image search and see where that comes up from. I should have done that in the first place, but I didn't. But I'm going to do an image search and see if I can find it. By the way, you guys, I think I am just about done. So if you guys need to go and get your dinner on or something like that, go for it, because we are pretty much done. Don't think I have anything else. Oh, okay. Well, I'm seeing something like it. Actually, well, let me see. Yeah, I'm doing an image search. I don't see anything directly identical to it, but I see a few that are very similar. So, wow. Don't know unless she restyled it or something. But that royal blue with the gold seems to have been used. So I'm going to guess that perhaps she saw these images and went to a a dressmaker or whatever, and had them make it for her. That's what I'm thinking. But it does, you know what? It does look like African royalty. It does look like one of those gowns that you might see in one of those Afrocentric fashion shows. So yeah, that's what I see on the search. is that I see something that looks very similar to it. Let me do the other photo and see what happens. See if I can find the exact source of it. But yeah, very interesting. But it's not so unique, I would say. It's not so unique. There's a few of them that I see here that are quite similar to that. Yeah, but I'm not finding the exact photo. So, but yeah, love, 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 love it. Black tie event. Anna Neiman. Okay, that's one clothing designer that seems to have something very similar, but not exactly the same. So yeah, I think she must have been inspired by someone else and had that made. But yeah, how nice is that? Okay, so let me press ahead. I think I'm just about. Oh, so yeah, I just put up a few images of Harry's uniform, but it wasn't close to the other part where I played the video. But yeah, just for your consideration, here's a couple more pictures of Harry in uniform. And oh, Pierce Morgan's unwatched audience falls by 93% in a year. Back in April of 22, he had 317,000 viewers, and now he's down to 22,000. That is very, very sad. That is very, very sad. Did I mention that Royal Sussex has had just shy of 18 million views in what, 2 years? 18 million views? Wonder how many views he's had. I bet you it's not 18 million. And of course, when we reached out to Stephen Colbert for comment, that was his reaction. And there's our queen. So there you have it, you guys. I am done. Thank you all so much for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Sunday to you. And well, we are going to be very busy next week in preparation for the coronation and Prince Archie's birthday, of course. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do for Prince Archie's birthday. However, I know I'm going to watch the coronation. I am going to try to document every possible embarrassing moment from the social media before they try to remove it. And yeah, so I will probably make a video based on the coronation and those odd moments that we can capture from that day, because there is going to be whatever. Okay, I don't expect that during the regular coronation that there's going to be any embarrassing scenes. We will see that all play out on social media as people upload videos from on the ground using their cell phones. So or I'm sorry, their mobiles. That is how we're going to see the more interesting details of the day. God's Child says, my love for Harry deepens when the British royal family came out to thank people for Diana's flowers. Harry walked over to an older Black lady crying uncontrollably. Little Harry hugged and comforted her. We never saw that footage again. Oh, see what I mean, God's Child? Thank you so much for saying that. Now I feel very, very justified in my position for the day of documenting that stuff, because that is exactly what happens is once you see it. And of course, then there was no social media, but once it's gone, it's gone. So yeah, thank you so much for that. And thank you for the super chat. But that's a very good point. That's why I say, guys, they want to write the history themselves. They don't want the accuracy of what really happened that day. So they even said that the royal family reached out to the television studios and told them, we want you to omit this, that, and the other, because they didn't want anyone to ever see it again. They didn't want the truth out there. that people actually were protesting during the Queen's funeral or leading up to it. During the what did they call it? The Mourn Hub. Yeah, they called it the Mourn Hub. So, all right. So that's my marching orders. So the festivities start at 11 a.m. UK time, and given the 6 hour difference for me, that will be like 5 a.m. So I may pull an all nighter. I'm not sure how I'm going to make it, but I'm going to probably end up doing an all nighter. It's already an embarrassment. All right. Let me see. I think it for the Queen's coronation it rained, right? I think it rained for her coronation. Oh, Rohini, you don't want to know what they want us to pledge to. You don't want to know what they want us to pledge to. They want us to pledge our allegiance to King Childbearing Hips. They want us to pledge our allegiance to the King of Childbearing Hips. That's what they want us to pledge our allegiance to. I don't trust men that have childbearing hips. Sorry. No, no, thank you. I don't pledge my allegiance to childbearing hips. Let's see. Black Queen says, Baron, Squatty's Church Nelly surgery tomorrow. Let's pray for a smooth one and her prompt recovery. Amen to that. And thank you so much, Black Queen, for the super chat to remind us of that. So Church Nelly is having surgery tomorrow, you guys. So pray, pray, pray. Church Nelly is not just another squatty. She's a warrior for the cause, as well as just a very wonderful person and part of the Sussex Squad family. So, yes, send all of your prayers in that direction. Thank you again. Let's see here. Excuse me. All right. Okay, so with that, you guys. Oh, TCC's son. I didn't even see that. Sorry, 16 months membership. Thank you very much for that. Shelly L says, the only thing I'm pledging allegiance to is my what is that? Arch support? Yes, yes. Oh man, that's right. To the arch support. Hallelujah. I just think it's such a bad idea for those two to oh man. You know, they don't have to have a coronation for it to be official. Charles is, and you know what? I'm sympathetic to Charles with one thing. He has waited a lifetime. That is what he was born to do. But he could pay for it himself. If he really wants to help the people of Britain, then pay for it. Pay for it. Let's see. Olivia Harris says, Baron, as you can tell from your early morning posts, we are up early. Do it good. Do it good. Okay, let me see. We live during the coronation. We will be up. I'm sorry, go live during the coronation. I will be up. Sister birthday that day. Whole family will be drunk by 3, full of food. You know, I don't know whether I'm going to be live for it. I don't know if I'm going to be live for it because we'll see. We'll see. I haven't even considered what hours I would be on that day. And I know I'm going to be gathering information. That's for sure. And I may go on like immediately after or after the procession. The state procession or whatever they call it, the coronation procession. I may go on after that. That's what I'm thinking, is to go on after the fact, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. It'll make sense that day. The closer it gets, the more sense it will make. So Rohini, thank you so much for joining us. And yes, they have that very bizarre request that people should pledge allegiance. And just to remind you guys, I don't know if I mentioned it, but this will be the first time that they ever, and of course, the only time that there's ever been a broadcast coronation was for the Queen. So this is only the second time that the coronation is going to be broadcast to the public. And so for the broadcast of this coronation, they are going to, for the first time, request to the subjects of His Majesty King Charles III. It is the first time that they are going to ask people to pledge their allegiance to the sovereign. This is a first. That has never happened before. Before, it has always been only a pledge to the people inside of the cathedral. Let me see here. So our global side chicks planning some. Oh, let me see here. Stacy Brockman, with the food prices rising, thank goodness pulled pork sandwiches prices are steady. Yes, yes, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. No pun intended. But yes, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And 2 bells for that one. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for the super chat. But yes, and since we're on the topic, please tell me more about your pulled pork sandwich. Come with me and you'll see another delicious pulled pork sandwich. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. In a world full of financial insecurities, one thing that is a constant is the price of a pulled pork sandwich. Oh, man. You know, if I ever get a cease and desist letter and I open it up and I see anything referring to a pulled pork sandwich, I am just going to collapse to the floor. If I see anything about a pulled pork sandwich, I will know exactly who sent it. It will be from Kensington Palace or that restaurant in Poland. Oh, man. That's right. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. That royal family. Yeah, that is the only one that I think that any Christian person ought to be pledging to. But you know, Charles is going to be in a bit of trouble because not only with that, but because of other like things that he's changing about the coronation. And I applaud him for wanting to be more inclusive, but you are not the governor of the mosque or the temple. You are the governor of the Church of England. And this inclusivity is probably what's going to get you in trouble. So do it if you may, but I think that it's not a good idea. But they don't listen to me. If they listened to me, they wouldn't have given the Sussexes such a hard time. I tried to warn them. I wonder how that emergency Zoom meeting. I wonder how the emergency Zoom meeting was. How it ended up. Let me see. Here's worse. I haven't heard anything about that. Yep, I hadn't heard anything about that. Yeah, I haven't kept up with them at all. And it's like quite a few of the hate accounts that I know a lot of people have it pop up on their feed, but I never see any of that stuff. Let me see. Well, they're going to have 6,000. They're going to have 6,000 military people, and I think they said this was like the largest amount of that type of presence in London for forever for any state occasion. This is going to be a first. I thought it was the most when the Queen's funeral happened, but this is going to even be bigger and more elaborate than the Queen's funeral. I don't even know how that's possible, but that seems to be the case. Yeah, so they're going to go all out with this one. If it wasn't, I don't want to blame the woman, so to speak. I don't want to blame the woman, but it's hard to feel any type of sympathy for Camilla for obvious reasons. But she was not alone. This is something that was done with Charles. It's not her, it's the both of them. And she couldn't have been able to have access and carry out all of the things that she is alleged to have done without the consent of her partner. And it happened, and Harry, his whole life, uh, without the protection of his mother in particular, has been a bit of a nightmare up until the point he finally got married. And even that, they were trying desperately to prevent that from happening. So I don't want to just pick on Camilla, but it's the both of them. It is the both of them. I wonder how they're going to use the kids with the coronation. I wonder how they're going to throw the kids in there and do like a North Korea thing on the coronation day, as they were discussing earlier. It even seems like that happened weeks ago, but that was just a few days ago. Can you believe that? I mean, things are moving fast. Applaud. Chucky just wants more attention. He don't care about any religion. See how he is trampling over the Ten Commandments. Oh yes, the Ten Commandments. Now that's a big inconvenience for him. Yeah, it's only so much they can do, and even though the British media, whoever covers it for the royals, they will try to avoid it, but it's going to be on social media, and I'm hoping that some of the other news outlets will pick it up, meaning America and whomever else is there. I'm hoping they will pick it up and distribute it so that it will be one of the talking points of the day. Let me see, Baron. This is being reported. Sources have sensational claim that Meghan is this week. Oh no, I don't believe that. No, it wouldn't be a good time. I don't believe that. Let me see here. Let me see if you're going to be that big. If it's going to be that big, it should be easy for Harry to sneak right out quickly and quietly to get back to Archie's birthday party. Yeah, I mean, I don't like the fact that the tabloids are saying 24 hours in and out, because I'm pretty sure they're going to have people in the first class section of the planes, every plane leaving out of the UK. They're going to have as many people on whatever flights seem that like they make sense. They're going to have people on board those flights to see if they can spot Harry. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a photo that pops up now at the Heathrow. I think it's only at Heathrow. They do have a they do have what do you call that? A lounge that's used by the Royals. I believe they do have that at Heathrow. So it probably won't be anything to be seen from there. And they do drive you right out to the airplane. So I think that he would probably board first if he is taking a commercial flight. But who knows? He may fly private. And then, too, maybe he'll show up on Air Force One. I'm still holding out for Air Force One. Now, that would be interesting. If he manages to go there in Air Force One, you could forget about the coronation. People are not even going to talk about that. There's going to be a righteous indignation launched at Harry from the British tabloid press. How dare he use his titles to get on board Air Force One? But yeah, so if that happens, you could forget about the coronation. Nobody's going to pay any attention. Yeah, Meghan's not going. I don't believe that. That is clickbait. Let me see. Tom Cruise is in the same predicament. Charles is in. He doesn't want nothing to do with his own son or daughter. Oh no, it's just his daughter, right? Yeah, his own daughter. Okay. Let me see. What is that? Would be more fitting. Okay, TB says, if I was Harry, I would fly private. Can't trust commercial planes. He says, time is of the essence for him. Well, I don't want him to rush and get into a situation because he's rushing to get back. He's got plenty time to make it back to LA. And then we don't know if he's going to go directly back. We don't know. I mean, if between husband and wife they agree that he needs to stay overnight or something like that, then that may happen. So we can't possibly know. He may actually get there a couple of days early, right? So that he can be rested and everything. He might get there a couple of days early and then fly out that day. So it may not be a 24-hour thing where he has to rush. It may be something totally different. Whatever it is, when we may never hear about it, or we'll probably hear about it long after the fact. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing for Meghan to do over there. Anything like that would be deemed attention seeking and something of that sort. But I doubt anything like that would happen. So I would not put any stock into that. Yeah, Tom Cruise he's got issues. Let me see. Sonia Johnson said, Barron, when the American press carry the story of the coronation, they still bring on the royal rodents to talk crap. Yeah, it's kind of hard to get rid of them, Sonia Johnson. And I told you the other day I had my back turned, and so you know how your YouTube just goes to the next thing and the next thing. Well, I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, I heard that annoying voice of none other than Victoria Arbiter. Me, 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 me. I was like, oh my God, make it stop. I heard her annoying voice. The first thing I did was like swat at my neck because I thought for sure it was a mosquito in my ear. But it was not a mosquito. It was Victoria. Yeah, it was Victoria Arbiter. Oh, what a nightmare. I'm like, I could not get to my phone fast enough to make her stop. It wasn't even the way they got me is at first it was Good Morning Britain, like some other person, and then next thing you know, Oh God, that was awful. That was awful. The hair in my ears were tickling. I had this like tinglingness in my ear. Y'all know Victoria Arbiter grew up in Kensington Palace. When her father worked for the Queen, he had one of those grace and favor apartments. So she pretty much grew up in Kensington Palace. So yeah, both son and daughter took money from those pranksters to pretend like they had saw the Oprah interview, and both uh, father and daughter have actually, I can't say they were embarrassed. I don't think it's possible for them to be embarrassed. Oh, it was awful, you guys. It was awful. I couldn't get to my phone fast enough to make it stop. And by the time I got to my phone, it was like nails on a chalkboard. You know how they have the when they what was that movie Jaws when he scraped his nails on the chalkboard? That's what it was like. That's what it sounds like to my ear.
In 2 weeks now, isn't it, till the coronation? Do we know how?
Already settled a significant and large payout made. The Telegraph reporting this morning that this was, again, not being confirmed or denied by any of the other parties involved. It is, as you say, a very difficult time. You can see here outside of Buckingham Palace, preparations well underway for the coronation a week on Saturday. And as engineers put up the staging, royal watchers say this court action throwing something of a spanner in the works.
I think it is going to be incredibly difficult for Prince Harry to face members of his family at the coronation. There's going to be very little time for them to meet on a personal one-to-one basis, simply because the weekend is going to be so difficult. But he hasn't spoken to most members of his family, even his brother, since the publication of Spare.
Now,
When you strip newspapers.
you see what I mean? How does she make that sound? You know what I mean? How does she make that sound? I have not figured that out yet, but it doesn't sound human. It's incredible that they earn a living doing stuff like that. And even though she got caught by those pranksters, she is still eligible to appear on Good Morning Britain. She has had such a fall for grace that she appears on Good Morning Britain with all the credibility and authority of a true journalist. Yep. And it just goes to show that's how that whole connection works with the so-called royal experts, the royal family, and the British media. They are all one and the same. They're like different extremities on the same body. The hard part is to try to figure out where the head is. You don't know where the head of the body is. Unless that's Rupert Murdoch. Yeah, maybe Rupert Murdoch is the head or something. Let me see. Olivia Harris says, what is that? Yeah. Oh, you're saying hi to everyone. Okay. I'm sorry. I wasn't sure. Well, thank you so much, Olivia Harris. Thank you for being here. Okay. Manello says, Baron, pity the royal family thought so high and mighty on Meghan that she should have showed them how to be in front of tabloids, not to have to sell their souls to those tabloids. They lack personality, Meg has. They lack personality, integrity, intelligence. There's so many things they're lacking. Okay. Oh, Barney Fife. Everyone knows Barney Fife is play soldier. Just glad. Oh man. Yeah, I think he kept it in his shirt pocket, right? Yeah. Barney Fife kept it in his shirt pocket. Okay. All right, you guys. I think we're good. I am gonna go, and I will see you all tomorrow. And thank you all for being here. Thank you for your contributions for the PayPal, Cash App, and the Venmo. I rarely get a Venmo, but thank you so much for the Venmo. And also, thank you to the moderators for keeping this a safe space. Don't forget to pray for Church Nellie so she can come back strong after the. I don't want her to show up on any of these channels while she's trying to heal for sure, because this stuff can be kind of stressful. So if you're listening, Church Nellie, do take some time out for you. And let us do all of this for now. And when you're better, you come back and give them hell. That's how we'll do it. Let me see here. Okay, I think that's good. Well, in that case, as usual, we honor our queens, Doria and Diana. Diana's photo has been all over social media. I love that. Good night, Mary Hiker. And so to close it out, let's see who'll close it out for us today. Yeah, let's close it out with Church Nellie. TB says, "Get well soon, Church Nellie." And that sounds like the proper ending for me. Thank you very much, everyone. And now I will cue the Ginger Avenger. I feel like I'm forgetting something for some reason, but yes. And as they say in Italy, Megan, one of us. Megan, one of us. Okay, love you guys. See you tomorrow. And we're out.